There's over 1,000 murals in the city of San Francisco, and we're going to explore some of the best of them on today's episode of Photowalks, which is brought to you by Flipboard's A Social Magazine. We're going to learn about the history and why so many murals ended up in this part of town. Plus, in keeping with the theme of the show, we're going to do a photo shoot right here in Balmy Alley with my friend Aunt Pruitt and his son Jacob. Because Balmy Alley makes a terrific backdrop for photos, and we may have a few tips for you on how to get better images. But first, let's go say hi to Siobhan Fleming, who's been given tours of the area for over 2 decades, and learn a little bit about the history. So people come to San Francisco, they go to the Golden Gate Bridge, they go to Fisherman's Wharf, they go to Chinatown. That's a big thing, you know, that's what tourists do. Mm-hmm. You believe they should come out here as well?
Oh, certainly, yes. I think the Mission has a lot of fantastic art with the murals, great food, a lot of culture, and it's just a beautiful place to be.
I mean, you're basically getting a free art gallery by walking down the street, right?
Yes, and it's open 24/7. It's accessible to everyone. You don't need a ticket, and you can come and just enjoy it at your leisure.
And this art they're going to see, as opposed to being in a museum, could you describe what they're going to see?
You'll see everything here. You'll see different styles of painting. Hundreds of different artists do these murals, and so you'll get some that are more contemporary, some that are modern. You'll get everything that you could want.
Murals are all over the city, but the biggest concentration of them are in the Mission District, one of the oldest neighborhoods in San Francisco.
The Mission District is really the home of Spanish-speaking San Francisco.
As immigrants began moving to the Mission District in the 1940s and later, they brought their tradition of street art along with them.
You know, this at the time was a working class neighborhood, so if you're an artist, you can't live in Nob Hill. You're living down, out a little bit away from the city center.
The murals began as a political expression, a trend that continues today, and they now also adorn the entire neighborhood on a variety of topics.
Yeah, it is a thing. It's part of the neighborhood. It's been part of the neighborhood for decades, and I can see it continuing on in the future.
Local businesses hire artists to help decorate their walls. The biggest concentration of murals are in Balmy Alley, where we met young artists painting a mural for a client.
Because this is how we tell stories, and this is how our community survives, and just keep uplifting ourselves.
So what story are you telling?
We're telling the story of duality. We're telling the story of the protectors of the art community. So on top it says respect and protect your artists. And then in the front we have some homegirls of the different 4 races on the earth. So the 4 different corn people. And these girls are protecting the alley and protecting the artists.
It's free, great weather, great food.
Best weather in San Francisco.
Best weather in San Francisco.
Because?
Because it's flat and surrounded by some hills, so it doesn't get the fog and the cold that other places in the city get.
Okay, so great weather, great food, and great art.
Yep.
All right, thanks again.
Thank you.
All right. Walking with a strut. Hey!
Hey!
Jacob and Aunt. Hi, guys.
How you doing, Mr. Jefferson?
All right, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Okay,
Thanks
we're going to explore Balmy Alley, huh?
Yeah.
Do some shooting.
Yeah, I want to check this out. It's such a beautiful little area, and there's a lot of colors to play with, and you picked a great time to shoot, considering the nice, beautiful, clear skies. So
yeah, and
this is going to be fun.
You brought your Pixel?
I brought my Pixel 6 Pro.
All right.
I've
got my iPhone here. We're doing the video on the 13, so I'm going to shoot some stills on the 12.
Oh, nice.
Because I only have one 13.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's still a great camera, though.
Yeah.
Smartphone cameras are so good.
And before we go any further, Aunt Pruitt is the host of the Hands-On Photography podcast.
That's right.
And a member of the T.W.I.T network.
That's correct, sir.
All
Which
right.
You've actually been on my show
yes,
before.
Yes, I have.
It was an honor and pleasure having you on.
One of my all-time favorite interviews. And we're both photo geeks, so we're going to be taking some photos. Jacob is the son of Aunt.
Yes.
Yes. And just so everybody knows, Aunt's name is Anthony.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. But I go by Aunt. And he's also known as Hardhead.
Yeah.
But
Oh, but we're not going to demonstrate that today.
Right.
But you're going to pose for us.
Yes.
Yeah. Now this is the area that has the like the biggest concentration of murals, and people come here to photograph. Now we're going to photograph murals, but it's also a great spot for portraits.
yeah.
Right.
Right.
And so let's start walking down, and let's see what jumps out at you guys.
All right. Let's do it.
I think we could just start right here. I love the colors.
Right.
I think the first thing that I would say is I've seen the biggest mistake that people have made here is they take a picture like this.
No,
right?
no.
So what are you going to tell them? Come on over.
Well,
Let's put Jacob where you would put him.
let me see. All right, well, first I will look at what the mural is presenting, because a lot of times these murals will give you a frame just right out the gate. And we can see that this body is creating the frame. And because I don't want to cover up this sun, I'm gonna have him off center just a little bit and not up against the wall. Have some separation for there to give us some nice depth of field.
Yeah. And I would say, come on out. Come on out a little more, and then let's go over this way. And we're going to go back to portrait mode. And by doing that separation, we got some really nice depth of field going on there.
Yeah,
Cool. All right.
that's beautiful.
Dad?
So now I noticed something else here that probably should be addressed is you're directing the model. You know, what tips do you have on dealing with a model that's not necessarily used to having professional photos done? You have any tips?
Well, my tip is as a photographer, we keep moving until we get it right. And because I don't know what it's going to look like until I see what it's going to look like. And because we have Jacob here, or Hardhead as you call it.
Hardhead.
We're able to demonstrate. I don't need to look on here. I just look on the face. I want to see what's happening just by every little direction.
Just moving
Right?
around.
I'll just keep moving around until I get it right.
Nice.
And generally, the other thing is that shade is your best friend when you're doing portraits. If we move back here, there's going to be giant lines right there, and shade just looks fantastic. Let's show people the difference between sunlight and shade.
Okay.
Okay, Jacob, right there.
It's those hard shadows, right?
Right, and now come right over here. You can go right here.
So much
See,
better.
look at how great he looks.
So much better.
Okay, let's do father and son.
Sure.
Look at those guys. There's a shot. And Jacob, you're a little closer to your father. And now, Aunt, you're gonna come right over here.
Oh,
Gonna
boy.
do one of these.
To make us look like a family, is that what you're trying to do?
Do the other side. And come out a little bit more. Great. And then, because I've got all the stuff going in the background, now we're going to zoom in and get rid of all of it.
That one looks
Now
good,
this
too.
is good. This is
Yeah,
good. This is a good one to
swirl.
stand in front of because you don't have any distractions, right?
Yes.
Right?
It's already blurred. I love the blue with the red.
Yeah.
Quick side note, we shot Jacob in portrait mode, and on the iPhone, you can go in and adjust the level of blur afterwards by clicking the edit tab and then adjusting the f-stop, which I brought all the way up to 2.0, makes it blurrier. Looks pretty cool. The other thing is that you can also within the edit tab adjust your portrait mode lighting technique tool, studio light, contour light, you name it. You've got a whole bunch of choices in there. I didn't think the black and white ones looked real. They looked kind of fake to me. So I went in and I did black and white naturally by going into the app and then clicking on the saturation slider, taking it down all the way to remove all the color. Then I did a little bit of adjustments. I upped the exposure just a little bit, upped the black points to make it more like I want it to look. Now, back to the photo shoot.
Very nice. Very nice. There's so much going on in this one, and
The only thing you could do is just jump in. Because it's not going to be, it's not like a backdrop photo.
True.
You're going right in there.
Yeah.
You're going to be the one guy right in there.
yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And just come down a little bit. Do you know why you came down?
Yeah, the fit in.
Yeah, to be on the same plane with these women. You're in the mural, man. You are in the mural. Can you do something with your arms? This is great. All righty. See if I can ever get back up again.
Yeah, you're in trouble now, man.
I did it.
Stay right there. I love that. I love that.
You know, one thing I bet you a lot of people do here
What's
is
that?
they do the jump. Don't you think?
Why not?
Yeah, let's do a jump. Now, this is cool just because it shows we have the alley to ourselves.
Yep.
And everybody can stop action by, at least on the iPhone, put their hand down on the shutter and they'll go into burst mode. How do you do it on the Pixel?
Same way with the Pixel.
Okay, so we asked Jacob to get a running start so that he could run right into a shot and get the energy. So here we go, Jacob. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so I got that shot so well that I'm gonna do him on slow-mo now.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. So what have we learned here in the alley? We have been having fun using every technique from slow-mo to burst to portrait mode.
To playing with light.
Yes.
You know, because we have the best light source ever in the sun, and it's just giving us a lot of great opportunities to create some beautiful images.
Right, we're shooting in the shade.
Shooting in the shade
so
right
that your
now.
sun looks good.
Yes.
And the burst mode was a lot of fun. Definitely do shots of people jumping in the alley if you could afford it and you're here on a day that's quiet and you have the entire alley to yourself.
Yes, this has been great. This has been great. I think everybody knew you were coming, Mr. Jefferson.
You think so?
Yes.
Huh? Yeah. I think the
so
fun
nice
thing
to
is
meet you.
what a great free photo studio.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right here, we have the
Beautiful San
entire,
Francisco.
it's all free and you've got so many opportunities. We only did like a portion of them.
Yeah.
You don't just have to take pictures of the Golden Gate Bridge. There's more to San Francisco, right?
Exactly.
We're gonna post these photos on our Flipboard magazine. It's gonna be called Ant and Jeff's Mission Murals.
That's
and
gonna
we
be
want to
fun.
encourage everyone, if they've come out here, they should post them there as well, and we could take a look and we'll talk about them.
Yes,
Talk
please
about them
come
on
out.
your show. We'll talk about them on my show. Whatever. Yeah, we'll talk about them on Twitter.
Definitely.
I'm ready for tamales. How about you guys?
Please and thank you.
Okay, let's go. It's lunchtime. Thanks again. That's the great thing about the photo walk is lunch afterwards. It's always the highlight, right?
We ate where else but at a wonderful restaurant in the Mission that just happened to have a big, beautiful mural outside. La Palma's been in business since the 1950s and specializes in homemade treats. Did I happen to mention their great tamales?